Go. Okay,
Yo,
we're live.
are we live streaming on multiple platforms at once?
We're live streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook.
All
I mean,
right,
we're
all
on
right.
Facebook now.
We out
Yeah,
What's up,
there.
Facebook?
We out here.
LOL. Live on
LOL, live
location.
on location.
Nice.
Whoa, I love
Welcome to the
the Brady
future.
Bunch that we got going on here.
Yeah,
Welcome to Ecoterra,
Yeah, what's
where
in
it's
this
at.
place?
Khalil here. Here I am. Richie. Got the gang.
Each in our little box, and we're about to. Wow, you even made little labels for us, REA. We got tech, we got business development, we got marketing, we got a little studio cam here, all
Mhm.
flowing, and we're just going to kind of take this as a format of sharing our adventures, really, because that's kind of what we're doing. We're going to different land-based projects. We have the spatial network as our backbone for storage for media, and the media that we're capturing is anything from storytelling video all the way to the drone footage and the 3D assets that we're scanning. So I think we're going to just kind of flow into it, take a look at the spatial network, just some of the things that we're working on, and we'll look at some of the assets. I'm actually going to go and work on a map live. We're also going to look at some videos that we've used Opus Clip to generate, which is an AI tool that we use on long form content. So when we come to a location, we just walk around with our wireless mics. We get the land steward to talk about their project, their goals, their challenges, and do it on the go, which makes it fun, right? It's all about the location. And we just had a great trip out um, here at a location in upstate New York in the Catskills. And we took some scans, we did some great videos. And yeah, we'll just take a look at that project and share with you some stuff. And REA's also been spinning up some stuff with Repli. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, REA?
This is exciting because it's kind of where I got started with vibe coding some months ago. I was living out on a permaculture farm on an island in Nicaragua, one of the poorest countries in Central America, and really imagining how the best technology could be applied to distribute wealth in a whole new way. And I was out there vibe coding with Replit Agent right the first week it came out, and it blew my mind to see what was possible. And it's been some months and so many journeys that I've been on developing different products that could help people with these land based projects to show their story in a whole new way. And this was the project that led me to the spatial network. We're starting to develop this directory, the Earth Care Network, and starting to map all the different permaculture projects, farmsteads, retreat centers, ecotourism businesses, but even going as far as like different membership groups, open source technologies, how we can build like an integrated kind of directory that puts everything together. Then I found the spatial network. And so now I'm kind of going back to Replit Agent, and I've started to kind of integrate some of these ideas into the latest and greatest technologies. So I'm going to be doing like a live coding session, building this prototype of the next generation Earth Care Network, which will be like a plug-in to the spatial network, really making it accessible for everyone to be on this kind of like global white pages, yellow pages of the future, and then plugging that in to just help people grow their business and then start a trial with the Spatial Network Build Pro and out of box. So I'm excited to share like how all these different tools can be utilized, how we're utilizing it here to develop the business with the Spatial Network, but also the agency that we're building and how these tools can be applied to help vibe code different apps for projects in real time and just showing how easy it can be. And hopefully soon that'll also be a toolkit that we can plug into the spatial network, directly and just help more developers to plug into this new Earth economy. And yeah, we'll show what we can do with latest and greatest tools and tech, and starting to weave these stories together. Share some of the footage that we've got on the grounds. It's been a lot of fun, Rachel, going and visiting these different farms. meeting these farmers, meeting their stories, their families, their kitchens. Yeah, maybe we can share some of the content as well. We can go and docu-filming. What do you
Yeah,
say,
man.
Rachel?
You want me to show it now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
How? What would you like to share in this like first LOL live on
Mm.
location?
Well, I want to share just that we have so much good content from all the farm visits and farm tours we've been up to in the last few weeks. So we've got so much content to work with, and we're really learning how to like make a system that will allow us to automate and put all this good content out there in a strong, clear, and consistent way to put these stories on the map and really bring the spatial network forward. So it's pretty exciting times to be alive, I would say. At 11 o'clock p.m. on a Monday here, got plenty to do. Future's
Yeah.
looking bright. So it's exciting.
Your Ecoterra living room,
Yeah.
masterminded little live hackathon.
Yeah, I need to
Live
really just like
hackathon.
wash my phone. That's why it's so blurry like that, with, like star on the lens. But yeah, that thing is being used on all these jobs of us scanning all these places, and we're really putting a lot of megabits on drives lately. And spatial network is like helping us make sense of it all, because there's really a lot to take on when it comes to stewarding land. First and foremost, managing it, and I want to just kind of go in to those parts of it, share my screen, and show you a little bit of like some of the way in which we're managing projects, and really, yeah, I guess we'll start by going into our own project, EcoTerra Farm, and just taking a look at the dashboard. Actually, this is a new feature that like I added on the side here. It's good to use to make some space. So yeah, just the overview is really like all the content on your project, and if you've associated a location to it, like we have things in the barn, proposed builds, compost toilet location, outdoor shower location. And this is the basic 2D maps for showing a lot of data. So that's kind of like we just show it first, and then you can kind of get a glimpse of the platform just by seeing that we have the storyboard tool, which helps you show like a time related thing, whether that be the launch of your project, whether that be the retreat schedule, like what you're doing at 1 o'clock, 2 p.m. That can all go onto the storyboard. Events are obviously, you can associate events with your location. This mapping movement was a past event we did. And then tasks, So I don't know why ice machine's on there, but I guess, oh yeah, we got to fix the ice machines. And I threw that on there. Hopefully someone can help us with that, because I love ice. Who doesn't? And we've got well water here, so the ice is so good, but it's broken. So as a landowner, all these tasks can get mind-boggling. So it's good to be able to just throw them on that task board.
For sure.
Stories are a real big part. We're gonna go back to that. It's kind of like the meat and potatoes of everything, is telling a story. And obviously every platform under the sun has created their form of story and reels and so forth. We're no different, but now we're location-based stories, and also have this kind of XR platform to display that media in different ways. Inventory is really cool, because inventory is not just like what you have. Like for us, like we can go in here. I have like my 3D printer in here, and that links to like the links to like fix it and parts and whatever. But you can also put marketplace items in here. Like some of my friends are making these geodesic dome connectors, and I just connected it, threw it on there. So like just off the bat, you can put your products in here as inventory items. So either things you have. I can just go into add item and just show you. But if it's a needed supply, an owned resource, barred or rental, or if it's for sale. So for sale is where you obviously put your market item. You can put the quantity, the price tags it for people to search it, product link. So whatever, your product link could just be an Amazon, or it could be a PayPal button for $20. Whatever you want to put in here is very manual. You can even assign it a location. You can assign it to a person. So you can add a person onto that item and just like, hey, you are the one to take care of this. So that's a nice thing. And you can make it public or not. So if it's an item you don't want to share with the public, like your odd rubber ducky collection that you have. You don't have to put it there for the public. So the other thing is you know, the 2D world, they show you that, and this panel is kind of like a flavor of what it's all about. But let's move on to like the 3D component of it, because it's what really really sparks my interest based on how much time I've spent on making virtual tours for every individual client with different software. So Spatial Network is really good because you can start to add things your own on here to fundraise or just to visualize what you have. So this is a dome that actually we fundraised and built, and it's not built yet, but we built another one, and this is the scan that I put together. The other one we have this here is beige, so I just put that as a placeholder. But here's some of the other ideas on here. The compost toilet, like we really need one of those out there because it's far from the house. And I was like, why not have an outdoor shower too? So just kind of like visualizing each one of those can be fundraisers. And as you see, there are some domes here, this dome being a Pacific Dome glamping setup. So we can kind of like have that set up to people and also links for supplies and the price and put it into a fundraiser pretty quick, as well as being able to have an interior view. This one doesn't have an interior view, but I'll show you one that does. If I go into here, this is actual farm that we're sitting in right now. We're right in this living room, but this has an interior view. So you can also go into the insides of your project. Now, you can go as a 3D model, or you can actually do embeds. The 3D model is a mesh export of this. So if you wanted to do planning and decorations, or even a remodel of your place, you can use this interior 3D model to start working on your design. So that's a really beautiful part of the 3D builder. But then you can use third parties too, like you can go into Matterport. I don't know why it's not working right now. It's being a little bit strange. That's what happens on. Oh, I'll just. All right, now I should be able to click it. No. Anyway, I won't go into that. If I edit world, maybe. Yeah, I need to go into edit world.
Building in real time.
Real time. Yeah, this is the demo. Let's go. Guitar Farm. Where do we go? Yeah, so you can have different types of interiors. 360 photos are one of them, or whatever. Also, these are the little easy raters that we have here for our guests and for doing our tours, or like stand-up ATVs, and just a little glyph there. Oops, I can go into info mode and click on that. And again, just like all these objects, there's these other views and content that you can associate with each of those, which is moving on to the other part, which is this 3D model library. And every 3D object that gets placed on maps is also going to be in this model library. And some of them are your own. These are browsing all of them, but I can go into just my models and see the stuff that I've uploaded. So some this chill tent, the fort. I even put Box Boy in here because I love Box Boy, and I think that if you wanted to just like put him in your project because he's so cute, you could do that. So each and every one of these objects has information that can be placed into it. I can go into, I think, the first space dome that I put. Yeah, here we go. Let's go to the first space dome. Here's an interior view to show you the other ways I can. Okay. Custom embed. Virtual tour. Here we go. So yeah, we are bringing our 360 cameras, all of our venues, and we can quickly put these really nice interior views, which are just 360 panels. But you know, in this case, it really works to be able to show these space domes and their interiors and what they look like. And you know, anybody who puts a space dome on their project is going to have all that information that we, as the project, as a 3D model owner, own. And so as soon as we update this model, it updates everybody's on the map. So this is a way of like of people and creators keeping their intellectual property, but also making that asset a living and breathing archive for those projects. So we're really putting a lot in here. I'm putting, you know, A-frames. We're putting a compost toilet. We're putting this Isho. How do I pronounce that, REA? What is
I
that?
actually don't know. We need to check with Eric Amio. Shout out to Eric. We need to understand how to pronounce that
Yeah.
properly.
I mean, I just took pictures and I generated this with AI. But the cool thing about his houses is that he uses the golden ratio in his design. So you see this curve. It's like, yeah, like the whole thing. And it kind of comes underneath as well. But this was actually just from one photo off of his Facebook. I just wanted to throw him on here because you introduced me. But that's just another type of modular home that could be great. You know, the idea is like promoting modular homes and thinking that the modular home is the cornerstone to the revolution because it's here to kind of alleviate us from the massive sets of bills that we have. So things like yurts or domes where people could actually pay it off really kind of like, I think, what is all of this? Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, so the modular home is a big part of it because we can employ people who build them. The local manufacturers, companies like Pacific Domes, are building them right there in Oregon, and put them on the map, fundraise them, and then really bring more attention to the industry in general. So I love that you've mapped a lot of those people out, you know, and that like that's another thing that we really want to see on the platform, like being able to add directories that would kind of help you access everything you need for your project on a bioregional level. And like, you know, the directory is a big part of that. Like, how are we taking our money that we're already spending on marketing dollar, we're already spending on, you know, our business expenses, businesses, but in our network to grow this regenerative scene? We realize it's a small cafeteria, but it's big, right? Like we didn't know each other, but we knew people that knew each other, right? Like 1 degree away. And that's why this like permaculture regenerative land industry
It's so connected.
we're all connected and like we're all maybe taking our money and pissing it away because we don't know any better or because it's convenient. But we could access everything in the resource network. Like when the project knows and AI is helping you find out what you actually need, like we're actually employing the people in our network who take that money, make more money, and throw it back in. So it's really the only way to do it. And I think it's the solution to so much. It's really just like connecting each other and our resources. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to, you know, expand on more. You know, talking about the stories. Here they are, super basic, but like you're saying, like you know, these little stories give us a chance to show little parts of the project. Like this is our property down in Dominican Republic, and you know, this is just a very small little clip to show people the romantic glamping setup that they have. Very cool because it's you know associated with the project in Oya, Dominican Republic, and it just gives an avenue for people who are going to have a retreat here to like to see a little bit more about the grounds and also to help the people on the ground there manage your budget, their inventory, their tasks, their documentation, which is your business plan, your your fundraising panel where you can add your fundraisers. There's even quests in here. There's too much to go over, and I don't want to like overwhelm everybody. But I do want to say that like yes, bioregionalism, and I'd love to talk to you, Arya, about what you could picture that, and then also bring into the how our team is already kind of like onboarding businesses onto this directory that REA is whipping up, and then we have this more catered service where we actually come out with our gear. We just got a new drone. It's sick. It's so good and it's super stable. And the digital twins we're creating right now are really amazing. And we think our projects, when paired with like really good site surveying and planning, design, and budgeting, that like our first row of clients, the next 10 clients are going to get serious funding. And we have the funders ready who are like interested. They want to know what companies are doing who's innovating. So that's our goal. So what are you cooking up over there, Arya? I think I showed enough of the spatial network. I think it would be cool after we go over this directory thing is to talk a little bit more about our agency service and then we could do a little cut with Rachel to see her AI video production services that she's been working with. But I would love to tie it in with what you've been working on, this idea of the directory. If you want to share us a little bit of what you're spinning up in your process, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I
And
would love to share. Well, I have an agent that's running as we speak, and I'm building in real time. And yeah, I think it would be helpful if I share a bit of where I'm coming from with this directory, because I have a little prototype that I built like the right before I joined the Spatial Network team. I put together this little directory, the Earth Care Network Collective, and this was the first version that I published. And I haven't really looked at it, since I joined the team. I've just been so fully focused on like we've built such an advanced technology that I was like, well, the directory thing is like it's kind of built into the spatial network, so do we really need it? And I think the question is like it can help because, there are so many ways that these different projects can be found online. And in this agentic world, like having additive solutions where like you're visible in more places helps you build more trust. So this is like an old prototype from back in the summer that I put together for whatever reason. The database, I guess I didn't pay my Superbase bill, so the databases got turned offline. And now I just went back in and I put in one prompt, and I'm wondering, let's see by the end of this stream where we get to. And I have a reiteration going of the Earth Care Network Collective, and I gave it a bunch of data. Now we have even more data from the spatial network and the business plan assistant that's now fully integrated, and thinking about ways of like adding value for people that are subscribing to the Build Pro subscription spatial network, where it's like anyone can be on the Earth Care Collective. And the idea is to map all the projects just to give them a space and visibility. But then projects that are subscribing to Build Pro on the spatial network will have more advanced features. So like be able to share their business plan as an example. That's what it prompted this latest agent to build. And in the meantime, I have another agent working simultaneously, and this is just kind of how we work. Like Terralux Tech is the bigger kind of agency that is developing these technologies, and we have a lot of advanced tools. Sometimes they're let's see if this one's gonna work. This is one I've been working on for a few months. Yes, it's working. Where it's like for a lot of the developers out there that are excited, like I've seen so many people in the regenerative space on LinkedIn, for example, that are looking for really practical tools to be building. And the spatial network has provided this kind of platform where developers who I think, especially for people who are really talented in development and might tell themselves a story like AI is taking their jobs, because for a lot of engineers that might be true, but for the best engineers, like finding the most mission aligned projects is kind of the highest priority. And so what we have now is a tool where just being able to like chat about like, okay, build a content creation team. This is now like mostly functional, where you can go, you can sign up, test a roo. So it's like we got multiple apps being built simultaneously just to help really automate the business intelligence. And there's all this data on the internet, and so if we can automate things like content creation and distribution, that like marketing and sales can really just be something that happens in the backgrounds of a business that has a good, worthwhile mission. And so this is our software development kit that we're still kind of testing and building this agentic solution to have like a team of agents that can work for you at all times and can accomplish missions to regenerate ecological integrity while building, bottom line cash flow and revenue and profitability. And having templates that make it really easy to utilize the best technology, and again for developers to have new jobs that are really in alignment with ecological regeneration. So these are some of the tools that we're working on, just debugging, getting the best mapping technologies kind of integrated for a whole new way of mapping, managing, monetizing, and gamifying land-based projects. So yeah, it's kind of funny being in this space of like most of what I do day to day is really business development, but at night I love to go and like play with code and hack away. So these are some of the things I enjoy to do at midnight here, kind of behind the scenes. But day to day, we've been going out and just meeting farmers. We have so much rich content, and we're plugging in these stories on the map, and then yeah, just helping to build new jobs. And this is such a beautiful thing of helping people to raise investment, to build new infrastructure, and just get their stories out there, you know, in a whole new way. And what I find amazing to tie a bow on this and maybe wrap into some of the stories that we're meeting and the business owners that we're connecting with are the ways that in this world in 2025 and over the next 5-10 years, what I see being possible is that just in the process of writing your business plan, the software that supports your business can happen, we like to say automatically, you know, just by really being really clear and distilled about what your business plan is, what the plan is for your land, your permaculture design, and just by having that integrated into a business plan that you can publish on the internet can work for you and go and find your next clients and find the right investors and help you to gain more people coming to your retreats, getting the right people to show up at your lands. And so we've got some really cool stories of farmers and the next generation of people that are building these land-based projects that are looking to solve, you know, food sovereignty and health sovereignty and yeah, help to build the future of humanity. So, so many beautiful technologies and people. And Rachel, I want to pass it off to you. Maybe you got some stories that we can talk about because we've added some really amazing stories on the map. Just in the last week alone, there have been so many amazing stories and even more footage. We've got also Khalil too. We just got so many fucking. We've got hours. Like how many hours of footage that now we have? Like we just have so much content that's about to be coming out in the pipeline. So maybe we can give people a sneak peek on
Yeah, I
that
guess to do
content.
like a little lead for that because I do believe that our computer that has our AI development needs to get signed in with a link. I don't know if that's possible. Um, but yeah, but the idea we were talking about the automagic, I'll go back to that word because it's such a good one. That a lot of what we do as an agency is like we're developing agency pipelines, basically like what it looks like for us showing up the land with the wireless mics. These are so important. And we have a steady cam. So the last property we went to, REA interviewed, I ran the mic, and then Rachel was helping with camera support and whatever else we
I
needed
have
with
my
3D
WhatsApp here.
scanning, um,
Am I opening?
and doing long form, like really long, talking to this guy as he's walking through the land. There's something about walking, talking on a land. That's the formula. That's what gets your business plan almost. What's your challenges here? What do you want to do here? What's your dreams here? And we're taking all that on, and we're creating a long form video of that. Long form video, as you know, is horrible because you're you're dealing with massive files. It's just like creates scope creep in your mind. It can be a real rough thing. So what we're doing is we're creating AI pipeline. First, manually taking your stuff, putting up, templating it. But in the back end, this is what we're going to tie into the spatial network. So you could just dump video in there if you're a premium user and be able to like spit out viral clips that are transcribed with your logo on it. That's kind of like how we're doing it. So the stories on the map is kind of our little branded kind of journalistic side of our business where we just show up at your property and we fully capture. And when we say fully capture, we're doing drone footage, we're doing drone scans, we're doing walkabout tour video with talking. That's our formula. And 360 cameras. That's the other thing this little guy right here. Actually, I've been using these cameras since 2006, and they used to just be like horribly large with a big metal tripod head. It was like 20 pounds in your bag. But now these like one click and stick in your pocket boys right here. This is all you need. And it's such a great way to create immersive storytelling. You can do a video as well. So
powerful.
like a yurt or a dome, you throw this up,
Yeah.
you record it, and they all can get hosted in the spatial network. So that is kind of like stories on the map. It's not just a journalistic approach. Um, so like we're taking now doing the AI manually because to get it so we know what it's going to do and make sure that it's a high end deliverable for our clients. And when we have it kind of totally dialed in, then we can kind of create the AI pipeline through spatial networks. So how that might work is you're out in the field, you whip open, the app, you just hit record a video, it knows your location, it goes on your map, it goes into your story database. If you do something long, then you could go and send it for AI to segment it. And you could take those clips. Us as an agency, we could send out scheduled content for you, and that's something that we offer as well. Or you could do it yourself, right? You just get all those clips back in your stories, download them, upload them to your Facebook, your Instagram. So yeah, and all of the data that's in there is also transcribed and helps build your business plan out. That's like a part of it. It's like, how do we get what's up here in the 3D world or 5D if you're working on that level? How do we get all of that distilled into our project so our agents can do our bidding? And you just saw a little glimpse of the interface of um, Opus Clip right off the bat. We're just sharing what we were using, and I'll let Rachel just talk a little bit about like maybe some of the clips that we did today. Like maybe if we can not to mention the client, I don't think it's a problem, but if we could just take a look at some of what we did, or just talk a little bit about your process and how you're doing with Opus Clip. And yeah, how's it going, Rachel? How's your flow?
Well, thank you. I really love Opus Clip because it just really captures like those key turning point moments, where there's some sort of like peak in the story. It's really good at like scanning for what is catchy and what's important and giving you an analysis on your own content. So it makes it super easy to see through other eyes how much stuff you got going on. So we've got a lot of good stories in the pipeline. You don't want me to mention the name?
Oh yeah, if you could just click click that through that one that we were like really happy with,
I don't remember which
and
one that was. This
and
one?
whatever floats, and whatever
Let's
one that
see.
you want to show. Give us like, which one is this then?
Well, I don't think we're gonna hear it, but we went out to visit um this retreat center the other day. And so we got a tour by the retreat owner, and it's more like an ashram, really. He's just done such a beautiful job of really keeping the land and making the nature like the main function of the property, bringing people in to really experience true peace and stillness and quiet. And he's done such a beautiful job stewarding this land, but he's kind of a lone wolf in it. So we came in with our whole squad, our agency. We got him talking about his dream and his visions. Arya was sitting down with him on the business plan. Cleo was like flying the drone, and we just had like a full operation to show this guy how much potential there is. Um, that when we share the story of this land and let people really interact with it online in a more of like a physical 3D way, then we'll bring them in and we'll call in the right people to, experience this more and more of this peace in themselves and in the world. So we've got amazing land stewards with real visions to, guide people back home to nature. And we've got lots of farmers with so much depth of like agricultural wisdom, the wisdom keepers. They're like holding the heart of humanity in their hands and like struggling. It's hard life out there for these farmers. And we're like, hey, you guys, we're here to help. These are lives truly worth living and livelihood worth, you know, paying attention to and making sure they stay safe. And learning how to restore these practices and live regeneratively on the land. I think it's like we think more and more people are going to be seeking these solutions. So we got to give these guys, get them on the map so people can actually find them. It feels like such a worthy cause, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. So there's lots cooking up over here
You got any clips?
at EcoTerra. You want to see a clip?
Yeah, we want
Yeah,
to see
go.
some clips.
I just don't know
See
how
if
to
we can-
sync the audio.
It's okay.
Don't worry about it. We can see actually, this is cool because if you zoom in on it, we'll see the text transcribes. But what about the one there? Look at the one that's inside of the third one in there, 92. What is that? Is that inside something?
Yeah, we went inside the sweat
See if
lodge.
you can expand that. Like
How do I
zoom
do
in on
that?
it.
Oh
Double
no.
click it. Or
Double
hit the
click.
title maybe. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Learning our new system.
So yeah, like, and what you're seeing here too is like it really will create descriptions for each of your platforms, transcribe it. We put our own brand colors on it. You can put a watermark, and it's really good at capturing distilled parts of the story. What's this one say in the review there? It's a little hard to read, but maybe you can read it for us.
The review. We explore how to hire a team to manage land and utilities, freeing us to focus on innovative ideas and expansion.
Yeah. So there it is, the little distilled things, these little clips. One click, this is going out to everything. It's going out to your LinkedIn, it's going out to your YouTube. And it's raw, it's organic. Like in the age of AI, like we're using AI, but like this is the most human content, is the stories on the land. And it's so easy. And what we want to do is to like model our team here at EcoTerra, share it with these videos that we're streaming right now, and have other people such as yourself go out with the cameras and do what we do, because we really want to get people on the spatial network. The more resources are mapped and inventory, the more that like people are helping each other out, cross-pollinating, so to say. And really the formula is fun. I mean, ask these two, like we went out, we had such a great time. And it wasn't all, roses and cookies. Like, there was like certain things that are uncomfortable. Like you get to see the humanness, like the hard parts, the challenges. But that's really, I think, the rawness that people are going to want, especially if they're giving you money, or if people want to support you, they want to feel the heartbeat. And especially in the age of AI, is to be ridiculously authentic. And that's really like what we're trying to do with our tools here. And just really feel blessed to be working with both you two in this EcoTerra project, this spatial network. And I look forward to just visiting more lands. And also, any of you who are up on 11:41 on a Monday, like congratulations. Like, you're not like an old person like going to sleep at 9 and shit. For real. You know what I mean? Live a little. And we'll come on more often like this. We got the cameras just set up. As you can see, we got our studio. And like we'll share more of the process, because we're going to be visiting a couple more lands this week. And we're going to share some more clips. And we'll share some of these AI footage once we get the okay from the land steward. And and if we don't, we'll just share another project. So it's all good. Appreciate everybody checking out, and thanks REA and Rachel and REA. I don't know. I'm not trying to close the show. You got
Check
something
this
else
out,
to
I
say?
just
man.
gotta say this is
Oh,
only
shit.
episode 1.
While we're speaking, it's still working. It's still got. So
It's cooking though.
It's
got
cooking though.
something.
It looks like it actually has data. Maybe.
What is
No,
this?
it's saying no projects found, but it's got a nice little UI so far.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see the directory. Let's see. It's been since we started. It's only been 29 minutes. So yeah, these things might take a couple hours to get this thing. But good progress. Good progress.
This is great progress, REA. And like, this is great. Thank you for sharing the kind of back end of this, because I don't know if people really, like, we think everybody knows about vibe coding right now, but they don't really. And like, there may be some critiques. You'll hear people like, oh,
Maybe you
AI
should
is taking our
define what
jobs.
vibe coding is.
But like,
is
truly,
it?
it's like we're mashing up good data, good ethos, permaculture principles, to make meaningful software intelligently. And if you do it right, like REA is doing it, like you can scale your business 10 times faster than you could a year ago. And that's really like what we're trying to do here. for the people that really need it. Like if you're working the soil all the time, sometimes you don't have time to be on a computer all the time, and you want robots to do that shit. So like, you know what I mean? Like, and we're gonna try to find like good robots that don't use all the water and pollute the earth. Like they're out there. Like, everybody poo poos AI. Oh, AI is gonna make carbon footprint. Oh god, carbon footprint. But the idea is that like, you know, there are companies that like care about the environment, and like we're really just trying to create the industry of people who are really like, if we're use tech, let's use it to be amazing stewards on this planet and create massive life. You know, like Joel Salatin says, is like pure abundance. You know, like every handful of soil, there's more microbes than there are people on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, and that is the life that creator's giving us. No matter what bullshit we're doing down here, dumb shit, it's giving massive abundance to us. And this, and not to bring it back to the project of the spatial network, but the spatial network's there to like give honor to the complexity of your land, and to say that stewardship on earth is the, you know, the way that we can kind of grow as a society, take care of Mother Earth, and she'll take care of us in abundance forever. Humanity.
That's
Amen.
it.
Let's build the future, y'all.
Let's build the future. Yes.
Oh,
Welcome aboard. This is episode 1. Got the reality show set up, ignited.
Live on location.
yeah.
Live on location.
Helping people to manage, monetize, and gamify land in a whole new way.
We need a
Fine.
CTA. What's the CTA?
Let's go build
Subscribe.
the future.
Subscribe.
Build the future of humanity.
There we
See
go.
you on